really not sure how to say this. It's about integrity. I remember having a debate 25 years ago with a couple of salesmen that were the fakest friends I've ever had. They were frat boys in their 30s. They're both salesmen. And they were professional salesmen for more sophisticated products. One of them sold robotics. And the other one was sold 401k and some kind of bank instruments for money. Drove a Porsche. The other one drove a BMW. One lived in Del Mar, another one lived in, I forgot where he lived. But these people, when I talked about integrity, when I talked about having honest and sincere life, when I talked about a quality of life, these were funny concepts to these guys. And the concept of integrity can be foreign, but it shouldn't be. You know, religions talk a lot about that, but their integrity is not to each other. Their integrity model is based upon the dogma and supporting their cult. It's not really based on building community. And when they use the word community, they're talking about their tribe, people within their tribe. They don't really interact. The only way they interact with people outside of their own cult is preaching to them or looking down on them or throwing them a bone so they can indoctrinate them with their own cult dogma. So when you're involved in a religion, there's not really any community integrity in that. And even when you're involved in a charity, a lot of times, there's not a lot of integrity around that. There's not integrity around the idea of love. And you know, this idea of love has to do with having compassion for one another, being honest, being respectful, being considerate, being nurturing, being helpful, being transparent. You know, there's a thing about honesty. You know, if you're hiding the truth, if you're not telling the truth, if you're manipulating people, which we're all guilty of that, aren't we? At least I am. I know I can speak for myself that I've done that in the past. I do it less now because I'm more aware of it. But it's something that I don't really ever want to do. And I can't ever really justify it. If I'm doing it, I'm saving my own butt. I'm afraid of being accountable. I'm afraid of being responsible for my actions by misleading others. So about integrity, this is the foundation. This is the core of community. This is why people that have a screwed up government of bullies and tyrants that go off and support a homicidal maniac, I'm not going to name any names here, Netanyahu, but if we're supporting that, if our country's supporting that, that means that pretty much our citizens of America really suck at working together and saying, no, don't kill those women and children. How many? 10, 20,000, 70% of the 30, well, we're saying at least 40,000, right? Because there's 31, 35,000 or so that are confirmed dead, slaughtered from the cockpit of an F-35. And then there's another 10,000 that are still under the rubble that they haven't been able to dig out, that are decomposing, women and children and babies. So there's no integrity in that. There's no integrity if Americans are allowing that to happen. If Americans are allowing their tax dollars to get spent by someone incompetent, by a warmonger, by a genocidal maniac that's supporting another genocidal maniac and making up stupid excuses like, oh, we're going to build a pier. Why don't you build a ladder to the sun while you're at it? That's not going to save the kids. That's not going to save the slaughter. That's not going to stop the slaughter. So when it comes to integrity, I hope we can see when somebody says, oh, we're doing everything we can to not kill innocents. We know they're freaking liars. We know that's total bull. We know they're just saying that. And they're getting away with whatever they can. Because what they want to do is slaughter. What they want to do is steal land and murder people and get these people out of the way. And that's what they want to do. And anybody with integrity can see that. But what gets in the way of integrity? weak minds, minds that are incapable of really admitting the truth about what's going on. Human beings that are cowards, that are afraid to take action and do something. And people that have such a strong, sick, twisted ideology that they think this is somehow the right thing, or somehow God's will, or some other ridiculous concept that these children should be slaughtered. You should be ashamed of yourself if you think that way. If you think there's any justification whatsoever for the wholesale slaughter of women and children that's been going on. And if you want to do something about it, build community. Work on community. Work on getting together. And support this platform, this Everybody Community platform. So go to A Better America. That's the fundraising arm. That's the information arm of this Everybody Community project. So go to abetteramerica.club. And there's a link that's in the notes here. Like and subscribe to this channel. Got a project. I'm going to the States. I'm going to start in San Diego and visit 6 cities coming up in a couple of weeks here. This is March 16th, 2024. April 10th, I'm going to be in San Diego to get started and work my way up the coast. Keep an eye on it. Subscribe so you know what's going on with the project, at least. Because we're going to do some really cool things that have never, ever, ever been done before. And that is really going to have a huge impact. Check it out. Thanks for listening.